Hello, everybody. I'm Meg from Maison Jupiter and Beyond Mystic, and welcome to your weekly Beyond Astro forecast here on the Jean-Claude Beyond Mystic 3 YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you're doing well out there. Let us know how you're doing in the comments, if you feel to, how you're navigating the energies out there, the current astrology, what's going on in your world. It's very interesting to see in the comments in the live chat or the comments after the replay, what's going on in the synchronicities between all of us. Very, very interesting. And I love seeing that. So love you guys. Thanks for being here. Beyond Astro is where every Wednesday I share with you guys the astrology for the upcoming week. And I love doing it and serving humanity through this way, through the Western astrology. So before we get into it, just want to say, please like, share, and subscribe to the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel if you haven't already. Really helps us when you subscribe, share, or like this content for other people to receive this information for the channel to pop up for them. And as you know, we're all about sharing the mystic, the spiritual, esoteric wisdom during this beautiful time of transition here on Mother Earth. So if you feel to like and share, thank you for doing so. And also, you guys, I am offering personal astrology consultations at the moment. 1 year personal forecasts looking at your year ahead with your astrological transits and birth chart analysis readings. So if you're interested in that, those are available at maisonjupiter.com. And we've always got this discount code for all the viewers of Beyond Mystic, one word, Beyond Mystic, where you can put in that discount code and get 10% off your next reading with me, if you're interested in that. So, okay, this is a really big week, a really interesting week, energetically, astrologically. And I know I'm always saying that because I feel like the astrology of these times that we're in are so interesting and intense and transformational. But this might be the biggest upcoming week of shift out of our whole year. And why that is because we've got the nodal axis shifting, the North Node and the South Node shifting out of North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio, into North Node in Aries and South Node in Libra. And we're going to have the North Node in Aries and South Node in Libra from July 17th, 2023 until beginning of January 2025. And I'm going to talk about this further in this video. Also today, I'm filming this on July 12th, 2023. Julie and I are going to be doing a live Astro Decode over on the Maison Jupiter YouTube channel, where we're going to go really in depth into the nodal axis shift into Aries and Libra. So that'll be today at, I believe, 4 p.m. Eastern on the Maison Jupiter YouTube channel. So definitely check that out, you guys, if you feel to check it out. And yeah, we don't even have just the nodal axis shifting. We've also got a new moon in Cancer this week, happening on the same day as the nodes shifting. And this is a new moon in Cancer where the moon is in its home sign. So this is very, very powerful new moon. We're going to talk about that. We're in Cancer season with a new moon in Cancer. And we've also got Sun sextile Uranus. So we're going to get into all of this magical stuff going on. I'm going to share the chart for today to start off. So filming this today, July 12th, 2023. So we're still in Sun in Cancer season and about to be having this new moon in Cancer. So Cancer is this sign that is all about home, family, our homelands, our ancestors, security, and our emotions. The emotional realm, intuition, divine feminine. So with us being in Sun in Cancer for the next couple weeks, week and a half, this is very much focused right now on our home, our family, our security, and our emotions. So it's actually good when we've got Cancer season going on to be doing something focused around the home. So it's a really good time to maybe be renovating something in the home, or doing a little bit of feng shui, or having your family over, or going to a family member's house that you maybe haven't seen in a while. It's good to focus on family and your actual home when we're in Cancer season. And it's also good to be honoring your emotions during Cancer season, because Cancer is the sign that rules our emotions. So people may feel a little bit more emotional when we're in Cancer season. If you're noticing that around you or within yourself, that people are being a little bit more emotional or moody, Cancer also rules moodiness. That is totally normal as we are in Cancer season. So we've got that going on. Also for this week, we're having the Sun sextile Uranus for the whole week. So today the Sun is at 20 degrees Cancer, Uranus is at 22 degrees Taurus, and they're in a sextile, which is a positive aspect in astrology. And the aspects, you guys, are relationships between the planets to each other that are based off the mathematical degree separation of the planets to each other. So sextile is considered by many astrologers to be like the best aspect, actually, the most positive aspect. So the Sun and Uranus this week are in a very positive energy flow. And the Sun is all about our consciousness. The Sun represents our consciousness, our life force, our vitality, our energy. And Uranus is the planet that is the ruler of the sign of Aquarius. Uranus rules innovation, the future, creativity, technology, freedom, Aquarian energy. Also interesting that Uranus rules astrology in Western astrology. So this is very much a week where we are getting, I believe, with this Sun sextile Uranus, activated. Our consciousness is getting very activated by this Sun sextile Uranus, by Uranus, at the same time as having the node shifting and this new moon in Cancer. This is a very powerful week, you guys. Cannot stress this enough, of transformation and tuning into spirit. Is making me feel like I'm seeing like energetic potentiality of transformation that we can tune into going on in the collective, to make it easier to let go of things that may not serve us right now, to step into new patterns that serve us for our highest good. Uranus is all about quantum physics and the quantum field, and might be good to do some practices having to do with that. I know Joe Dispenza, for example, is a really great like master teacher at the quantum field, all that kind of stuff. Any practices that have to do with quantum physics, the unified field, oneness consciousness, these are really good to be doing this week. And we can get really good insights by tuning into the quantum field, which Uranus rules, by tuning into higher consciousness, which Uranus rules, to visualize and create through our visualizations the new Earth and age of Aquarius. By visualizing it, Uranus. So we're getting, our consciousness is getting very activated. And I feel like this Sun sextile Uranus this week is activating us further into the age of Aquarius. And it's so interesting that this is happening at the exact same time as the nodes are shifting. So I want to bring up with this the concept of Ascension symptoms, which I'm sure many of you guys have heard. If you've been into spirituality or spiritual awakening for a while, the term of Ascension symptoms. But if you're out there and you're listening to this video and you've never heard of what an Ascension symptom is before, this is when our physical body or our emotional body or mental body may react to the shifts and the changes that are going on with the ascension process that we are in here on this planet. And many different spiritual people have different theories as to what exactly ascension is. You know, some people believe that we're ascending into total light bodies and we're not going to have a physical body anymore in the age of Aquarius. That personally doesn't resonate with me. I think it's more about living in 5D, and an ascension of the new earth is more a consciousness thing. And I feel that our physical bodies are very sacred, and being here alive on earth at this time, it's a gift to experience being in a physical body. That's a part of being on Mother Earth. So our bodies are getting activated this week, and we may be feeling something that's called ascension symptoms, okay? Which is where maybe you it's where you feel something different physically or emotionally, because we're getting activated by something that's going on with the sun, which, for example, is like this sun sextile Uranus, or if we ever have solar flares or something like that, or equinoxes, solstices, those we can get ascension symptoms where our bodies are adjusting to the activations that are happening. So for some people, that can be feeling extra great, extra energized, lighter. Usually it can translate into maybe we're having, feeling a little bit of tiredness or headaches, or maybe even like anxiety or discomfort somewhere in the body that doesn't last for a long time. It could last for a day or two or a week. So I'm not wanting to create that any of us have ascension symptoms this week, but I'm just feeling guided to share that it's totally normal with the sun sextile Uranus, us getting activated into the Aquarian age, for our bodies or even our emotions to get triggered by that, for us to be feeling something by that. So if any of you are feeling that, when I'm saying experiencing anything like that, please put it in the comments if it resonates with you, because it can help other people that are maybe new to the concept of ascension symptoms see what's going on, see what other people are feeling. So yeah, we've got that sun sextile Uranus, and new technology is really highlighted this week. Aquarian technology is highlighted this week. I know we just had that amazing Stephen Greer movie that just came out a couple weeks ago, The Lost Century, speaking on free energy. That was really, really powerful. There's going to be more things like that coming on this week. The concept is freedom, very highlighted this week, our collective freedom. And we're seeing things going on in certain countries right now, people really wanting their freedom and really wanting these old power structures to not be in dominance and control anymore. And that's going to get more and more heightened as we get into the nodes shifting into Aries and Libra, because Aries rules bravery, also freedom, independence, and action. So we're going to talk about that more for sure coming up. So we've got sun sextile Uranus this week, which is very, very positive, activating our consciousness. We've also got a new moon in Cancer. This chart that I've just brought up is the new moon in Cancer that we're going to be having on July 17th, Monday, July 17th, which I'm filming this July 12th. So this is still 5 days away. But when we've got a new moon, you guys, we enter what's called the new moon portal, or if it's a full moon portal, 3 days before the actual full moon, and then the day of the full moon, and then 3 days after. So it's actually like a 6-day period where we're in the energy of a new moon or a full moon. So we're going to start really feeling this new moon more when we get into Friday. I believe that's going to be July 14th. So this new moon in Cancer is really powerful because, first of all, the moon's home sign is Cancer. So the moon is the heavenly body that rules over the sign of Cancer. Cancer is the only sign that's ruled by the moon in Western astrology. So the moon likes to be in Cancer. The moon is at her power in Cancer. So anything that has to do that the moon governs in life is very amplified at this time. The moon rules over our emotions. The moon rules over mystery and magic and our intuition. So it's a really great time during this new moon in Cancer to actually be doing some kind of emotional healing practices or honoring your emotions, to do magic or intuitive practices, divination. This is the total naturally great time for that. Very magical new moon. We could be having very profound intuitive insights as well as dreams, because this new moon in Cancer is happening at 24 degrees, okay, which is a Pisces degree. And Pisces and Cancer in astrology are two of the water signs. The water signs being Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And the water signs deal with spirituality, intuition, and our emotions. So this is a very powerful time to connect to your inner magic, to be even doing manifestation practices, because it's a new moon phase, and new moons are about new beginnings, setting new intentions, fresh new energy. It's the start of the new moon cycle. So I am definitely going to be doing some kind of manifestation practice, and even just divine guidance practice of doing like a meditation or something, connecting to my higher self and my guides in spirit, and seeing what information wants to come through, because I'm telling you guys, we can get some very powerful insights with this new moon in Cancer. Very, very cool. So if you do want to mention feeling more emotional than usual, or people around you are feeling more emotional than usual, that is totally normal, because Cancer rules our emotions. And the moon is in her home sign in Cancer. So that is completely, completely normal. And what's also really interesting is this new moon is happening literally just hours before the nodes shift into Aries and Libra. So I feel like the chart of this new moon is actually a chart of our whole next year and a half of the nodes being in Aries and Libra. So I'm going to talk about that deeper when we do the Astro Decode tonight with Julie on the Maison Jupiter YouTube channel, where we get into the nodal axis. So that'll be available live when we do that at 4 p.m. Eastern, or you can watch the replay at any time. So we'll go deeper into the subject matter around that. But this is a really big, bam, new beginning, new shift, the node shifting, this new moon being in her home sign of Cancer. And also what's really, really interesting, I want to share with you guys, this new moon on July 17th is not just a new moon. It's not just the node shifting. It's also the exact in-between point between the eclipse season that we had in April and May, from April 20th to May 5th. And so it's the in-between point from our April-May eclipse season to our October eclipse season, from October 14th to October 28th, 2023. We are on July 17th, 88 days from our last eclipse season, and 88 days until our next eclipse season. And interesting, I'm doing like this little pose right now. It's like in alignment, bringing the energy into balance, or honoring balance. We're in the in-between time of the two eclipse seasons of this year. So I want to share with you guys that eclipses, even though we're not in an eclipse right now, we're in the in-between of our two eclipse seasons. And eclipses are the greatest events that happen in astrology. We're always freaking out every time we have eclipses. And wherever an eclipse, and I'm going to share this on the screen, you guys, activates in your chart, okay? So the last eclipse season we had was April 20th eclipse, new moon solar eclipse, and May 5th full moon lunar eclipse. Each of those eclipses happened in a certain sign and degree. So I'm feeling guided to share with you that this week, this new moon is actually a good time for us to check in our birth chart. Where do we have where the new moon solar eclipse of April 20th highlighted at Aries 29 degrees in our chart? And where did the May 5th full moon lunar eclipse, Scorpio 14 degrees, highlight for us in our chart? Because they're not just highlighted areas during that eclipse season. Wherever an eclipse highlights, it's a highlighted area of life for the whole next 6 months until our next eclipse season in October. Okay. So I feel like this can be a part of our, if you're going to do a self-reflective or magical practice this week with this full moon, if you're really into the astrology, looking at where in your chart you have Aries 29 degrees and Scorpio 14 degrees, because those are the houses that are being highlighted right now. Those are actually highlighted areas of life. So I'll give you guys an example. So I brought back up the chart for the new moon in Cancer, right? So the symbol for Aries is this over here, the two ram horns here. So if you bring up your birth chart, and you can do that by just going online and typing in online free birth chart, bring it up and look at the outer rim, outer circle of your birth chart where we've got all these symbols at the beginning of each house. These are called the chart rulers, okay? And you want to look for the symbol for Aries, okay? So wherever you've got the symbol of Aries, that house is a highlighted area for the whole next 6 months, okay? And then you can look up, what does the sixth house mean, or whatever house it is. So in this chart, it would be the sixth house. And if you want to get really precise, you want to look at where Aries 29 degrees, because that was the sign and degree of the new moon solar eclipse, April 20th, where that is. So that would be in the sixth house, because in this chart, the sixth house is ruled by Aries 11 degrees to Taurus 3 degrees. So Aries 29 degrees falls in there. So you want to check in with where you have Aries 29 degrees and where you have Scorpio 14 degrees, what houses those are activating, because those are your highlighted areas of life. Okay. And looking at what those houses are all about. So powerful to check in with that, to be in alignment with your natural energies astrologically. So this is a really, really interesting week for sure, you guys. And this new moon specifically is at 24 degrees of Cancer. So you can also look at your birth chart where you have 24 degrees of Cancer to see where this week specifically, over these next few days, the new moon is highlighting a particular area of your life that might be a focus. So you can see what house that's happening in, to see for this week what is like the focus area. And don't forget, with new moons, these are about setting new intentions and new beginnings. Doing those kind of practices are really, really great. So I also want to mention, before we get further into the astrology, that we have this amazing new abundance and manifestation activation series that's available on beyondmystic.academy, that's hosted by May Levy, the magical May Levy. And I've been hearing really good reviews from people that have done this, how amazing this is. So the second activation is going to be available live July 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern. And of course, the replay will be available anytime after that. And this second part of this activation series is about opening receptors in the brain for abundance, wealth, and prosperity. So this is perfect, you guys, because remember what I was talking about? We're in Sun Sextile Uranus, which is all about quantum physics and the brain. Uranus rules our brain and our belief. So this is actually, this was not planned. This is a total synchronicity that I'm sharing this right now. This would be like an amazing practice to do. May Levy's abundance and meditation activation series for this week, all about the brain. So that is so funny that she's doing that this week with the Sun Sextile Uranus. So yeah, also want to talk a little bit on the North Node shifting into Aries. Okay, you guys. So as I said, Julie and I are going to go really deep on that in the Astro Decode on the Maison Jupiter YouTube channel tonight, but I'll share a little bit on that for now. So the same day that the new moon in Cancer is happening, we've got the North Node shifting into Aries, South Node shifting into Libra. Wow. So we've had the North Node in Taurus and South Node in Scorpio since January of 2022. And this has been all about Taurus, being in the North Node, is about focusing on what is natural and being in the enjoyment of life, and not Scorpio, the fear and the drama and the dark side of life and the illusions that we're going to be in a technocracy and live in transhumanism and that's our future. That's a total South Node in Scorpio illusion. That's not even going to happen. Anything that was tried to set in place from the dark side, the bad guys, if you will, since January 22, literally has no power energetically. Astrologically, it is all about to fall apart over the course of the next year, 2 years. So no worries about that, you guys. So we've been invited with the North Node in Taurus to be in alignment with nature and what is natural, honoring our physical values, knowing what our values are, and being in alignment with what resources we have and where to keep those resources, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And now we've got the North Node going into Aries. And the North Node in astrology, you guys, is not a planetary position. The North Node and the South Node are two calculated points of the moon's orbit around the Earth, okay? And the South Node represents what we are leaving behind, what is no longer a focus, and what is actually not really in a powerful position. And the North Node is what we are being called to focus on, what we are being called to step into, what is in natural alignment for us to be embracing, okay? So Aries, what's so cool, this is the first sign in astrology. Aries is about life force, being alive, the present moment, action, bravery, courage, independence. And I would also consider Aries to be one of the signs that represents freedom. So we're looking at the whole period starting July 17th, 2023 to beginning of January 2025, a lot of actually action happening, okay? Action towards our new future, and not just sitting around and waiting for someone to fix life for us, but we're each individually and collectively going to be inspired to actually take action and make changes ourselves. And I want to be very clear that Aries does rule war and conflict and physical violence and aggression, but we don't need to go into that place. We can be in the Aries energy of the divine warriorship, of actually just having clear boundaries and standing up for what is right. And we don't have to go into a violent place. We don't have to support violence and chaos and conflict, because that is exactly what the dark side, the bad guys want, because that is the energy that feeds them. And I'll be careful what I say here on YouTube, but certain beings feed off of fear, anger, conflict, violence. So we absolutely don't want to go into a violent place while the North Node is in Aries. We want to be in divine warriorship of strong boundaries and courage and bravery and standing up for what's right, and not just sitting around, but actually taking action. And this reminds me, I'm hearing Spirit say, in Hawaiian shamanism, in the ancient Hawaiian teachings of Huna, one of their principles of living is now is the moment of power. Now is the most powerful moment of power. So by taking actions in the present moment, that shifts the timelines, not just for you, but for the whole collective. By being in bravery, by doing what you know is the right thing, by taking advantage of the present moment and doing what you know is the best, most effective thing to do in the present moment, changes the whole world, not just you. So this North Node in Aries is going to be so powerful, because we're going to feel more motivated to actually be in making action, and we're going to feel more energized, which is really great, because we've been in these past few years of, the whole situation the past few years, which can make us feel more tired because it's just so much that's gone on. When the North Node goes into Aries, energy rules energy. Aries rules energy and life force. Yay, we're going to feel more energized, and I think not as tired. So this is really great. And physical activity and honoring our physical body and health is going to be really important when the North Node enters Aries, to let go of any excess anger or frustration, because that is naturally going to be coming up, specifically in regards to what we've been through the past few years. So I would advise, if it resonates with you, if you don't already have some kind of physical movement practice that you do, start doing it now, because you're going to feel more energized. You're going to feel more things moving through your body, and it's good to release any excess energy or frustration through physical movement. Okay. What's interesting is, as soon as the North Node shifts into Aries, it's going to be Aries 29 degrees and South Node Libra 29 degrees. The nodes are going to be exactly square Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So we're feeling some tension. We're in the second last time of Pluto being in Capricorn 29 degrees. Things are going to continue to be revealed. Pluto rules revealing from the power structures, Capricorn. That is going to continue over the process of the next few months and even for the whole rest of the year. So it's just going to be like nonstop things being revealed about the corruption of the old power systems. And there's going to be frustration, Aries, that comes from that, from those of us that have been awakened to that, those of us that are not yet awakened to that. So we're going to need to be strong, you guys, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, to not just hold space for ourselves, but also our brothers and sisters that are also becoming conscious of what is going on as well. So really powerful, the nodes shifting into Aries. Yay, I'm excited for a lot of changes happening, us being inspired into action and no longer just sitting around and waiting for someone to save us. Not saying that we're all like that, okay? But if you look at the collective, you know, most people are on their phones and computers, and people aren't out on the streets or out in their local community. And we're going to see more of that. So this is going to be really inspiring, what we're stepping into. And I'm so excited about it. So let me know in the comments, let us know in the comments, you guys, how you feel about the North Node shifting into Aries, what you're kind of picking up on that. And I'm going to pull some cards for how we can best navigate the energies of this week, this new moon, the nodes shifting. What is our divine guidance for our highest good, from all the energies and spirit that support us for our highest good? Let's see here. Woo! We got the Leo card. We got the Leo card. We got the transits card, and we've got the Venus card. Leo, shine, bravery, confidence, creativity, life force, having fun. And interesting, because Leo, 29 degrees is one of the Leo degrees, and Pluto is at 29 degrees. And when the nodes shift into Aries and Libra, they're going to be at 29 degrees, which is a Leo degree. So honoring your power, honoring what you know serves you to do, what you're here to do. Don't be afraid of your power. Leo is about confidence and upliftment and having fun and fearlessness, the lion. So we're stepping into fearlessness to best navigate this week, and being in our gifts and our creativity, tuning into our hearts. Leo rules the heart, noticing what we're feeling in our heart rather than our mind. So we've got Leo supporting us. The transits card, which transits is about, the current astrology and the changes that are happening. So I feel like this is just affirming that, yeah, we are in really big current astrological transits right now. This is like once in a lifetime things happening. And Venus, which is interesting because Venus is the dispositor, the ruler of the North Node in Taurus. Venus is the ruler of Taurus, which we've been in that North Node in Taurus, and Venus is now going to become the dispositor of the South Node in Libra, because Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So Venus is going from being the ruler of the North Node to, when the South Node goes into Libra, Venus is going to be the ruler of the South Node. I didn't even think about that until just right now. So that this is spirit bringing to awareness that Venus's energy is shifting. It's going to be more reflective. And we've also got Venus retrograde, which is going to start not this week, but next week. We're going to talk about that next week. So really, really, these are the last few days with the North Node being in Taurus of tuning into your values. North Node in Taurus. What are your values? What do you stand for? What do you stand for? That we need to be clear on our values before we step into the North Node in Aries, because we're going to be just naturally more impulsive. We can naturally feel more triggered and frustrated. So Spirit's saying, what are your values? What do you stand for? What is worth the fight in life? Not that we have to get into physical fights, but you guys know what I mean. What is actually worth us standing up for and putting energy towards? What are our values? So cool. And I'm going to pick one card from my Trust Your Vibes deck of how we can also navigate this week. This one's popping out. Ooh, claim your boundaries. That's going to be a huge theme with the North Node in Aries. Claiming your boundaries. If you're looking for a new book to read, a new subject, boundaries. Really big theme right now. And be flexible. Physical movement, what I was talking about before. If you don't already do some kind of physical movement practice, that's going to be really important to release any extra frustration, energy with the North Node going into Aries. So lots of stuff going in, you guys. Thanks for bearing with me for this longer than usual Beyond Astro forecast. But there's just so much information that I'm feeling to share, so many important transits going on. So want to share, if you'd like a more personal reading, that's available over at maisonjupiter.com to have a personal consultation with me, looking at your year ahead transits or getting deep into your birth chart. And we've got discount code Beyond Mystic to get 10% off your next reading with me. And also we have a new Psychic Spies episode that Sophie and I did last week on Dr. Stephen Greer, the UFOologist and researcher. So that's over at beyondmystic.net. And Psychic Spies, for those of you who don't know, that's a really fun show where we have a different theme, either on a person or an institution or a country, and we look at the astrology of it. And Sophie is amazing and magical at her intuition and her cards. And we also look at the cards. And we go deep with our psychic investigation skills into different topics. So you can check out Psychic Spies over at beyondmystic.net. And I want to say again, thank you guys so much for supporting my Beyond Astro weekly forecast, for supporting us at Beyond Mystic and at Maison Jupiter. We love you all very, very much. Wishing you an absolutely fabulous, magical week as we shift, as the nodes shift, as we have Sun sextile Uranus, as our consciousness is being activated. And I love you guys all so much, sending so much cosmic love your way. Mwah. And we'll see you next week for the next Beyond Astro.